Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 87 of Reaction Time Podcast. Craig, how are you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Let me check my list of complaints.
I was like,
it's
let me
empty,
check
so
how
we're
you're
good.
doing.
So today, you guys,
Wow, your list
welcome.
of complaints is empty?
It's empty, man. It's
Dang.
empty. Life is good. Welcome to a bonus episode.
Yeah.
Of Reaction Time. I can't say this is the first bonus episode because we have done some hopes and predictions in the past.
Yes.
Some different things. But this, I think, is our first bonus episode of a movie.
Yes, it definitely is.
So, welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
Y'all. Welcome to Spooktober. Welcome to Reactober. Reactober time. Today we're looking at the movie The Babadook. Is it The Babadook or Babadook?
The Babadook.
The Babadook. If you recall, if you listened to last week's episode, and if you decided to watch this movie, I did tell you to Google the phrase, what does the Babadook mean? I will not be going over that in this first section as we are going to do spoiler free. But once we jump into spoilers, I will break that down for you. I'll kind of explain it. It really helped me to like this movie a lot more than I think I was going to.
Okay.
Again, I'll explain kind of what that means. I know that's so vague, but but yeah, so this was my first viewing of this movie. Mm-hmm. It came out 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? It's 2014?
Yeah. Yeah, 2014.
And it's based off of a short film that the same person did in 2007.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Or 2005. And it's not the same name. It was called, what was it called? Hold on. The Babadook short film. It's called Monster.
Oh, okay.
And the same director, Jennifer Kent, did it in 2005. I didn't watch it, but it exists online.
Okay, I might watch it. That's like Lights Out, where it was a short and then they made it a full movie.
Yeah. And so let's see. It's it's on YouTube. It's 10 minutes and 43 seconds.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea. It looks like it is. It looks really like it's filmed. It's in black and white.
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd actually be interested to watch this, but
yeah, I totally want to watch it. Because the Lights Out one's pretty good. The little short.
Yeah. So I thought it was a cool movie, man.
That's really cool.
It was very unique. It's
very
unique for a horror movie. And yeah. So anyway, yeah, we will go spoiler free, but there's so much I'm going to say in spoilers to really truly watch this movie.
Yeah, I would say one thing that I didn't say in last week's episode, and I don't know what you're going to talk about, but go into this movie not necessarily like for the horror factor.
Mm-hmm.
It's there, and it's very much like a slow burn.
Yeah.
But I would say it's a little faster than most slow burn movies that I've seen.
Yeah.
And it starts relatively quickly with just kind of the tension and stuff. But to me, it's not as much it is a horror movie, but it's not as much a horror movie as it is a mother-son movie. Mm-hmm. Like that's kind of what this movie is about a lot, is like just kind of the relationship between the two.
Yeah, and there's a lot of symbolism in this movie too. So, so it's very unique for a horror movie. It doesn't do a ton of classic horror movie tropes.
No.
It does things, I think, in a very, I guess, logical sense.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the reactions to what is scary is like the reaction that a normal person would have.
Yes.
Which I really, really like.
Yeah, it's much more grounded.
When things are scary, people are like turning on every single light in the house. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Which is exactly what I would do.
Exactly what anybody would do.
Anybody. People are hiding under the
person.
covers. It makes sense, right?
They're checking under the bed. They're checking closet doors. They're looking for the thing.
And there are also there's some weird horror imagery as far as like it's kind of similar to maybe if you think of the film from The Ring, like the little movie. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's just like all those gross images. Or even if you think of the weird movie that Gabe in The Office puts together to be spooky.
I forgot
do you remember
about that.
He does something I think that's supposed to be similar to The Ring, and it has all these weird things. And then there's like a video of like Stanley, but from inside his car. And Stanley's like, "Where did you take this?" But there's some stuff like that. So there is some weirder stuff. This is not your classic horror movie. It's not a slasher. It's not a screaming all the time. It's not that.
It's not even much of a jump scare either.
No, I wouldn't say there
more
are
like
really any. Maybe there's a couple.
There's
but
maybe
not,
a couple. Yeah. But it's more of like actual like tension, suspense, horror.
And a lot of storytelling. It's a very storytelling movie, which makes it unique for a horror movie, I think.
Very unique.
So,
and I
actually really liked it.
I will say both the mom and the kid, but the mom, holy crap, she did so well.
So good.
So well.
Really good actors in this movie.
Oh my God. And the kid did great too.
And the kid too, yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
But the mom, I don't know if she's been in anything else. I don't know who she is, but holy crap, she's good.
Yeah.
Her facial expressions are top notch.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And then she just gets better throughout the whole movie.
Oh my gosh, she does.
until the very end. Man, it honestly truly is stunning. It's a very, very good performance. I do also think that this movie's probably rated PG-13. So if any of y'all have those kind of concerns,
I couldn't remember if
it says
PG-13
not rated,
or R.
but there's one F-bomb and there's very, very, very little swearing. Is there two?
There's two F-bombs. Yeah.
Okay, there's two F-bombs and there's a few
very
S words. Okay.
Yeah.
But there's very little swearing in this movie. There's no nudity.
There's one like slightly uncomfortable scene.
Yeah.
You could say. It's not much.
It's not something we all haven't done, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's an unrated movie because I don't even know, did this even go to theaters?
Yeah, it was a very small release.
I think it's an Australian movie, but everybody's British.
Yeah. It's $2 million budget.
Okay.
Yeah. Very, very limited release.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm very curious to know what you're going to say because the one thing that's always kind of not really bothered me, but just seemed a little dumb is the ending. And so I'm curious if
I've got it all for you,
what you're going to say is going to change that. I've got all of it for you. I wonder if that's going to change my feelings.
Because I agree, but now that I know, okay, this is going to sound really vague if you haven't seen the movie. I'm very sorry, but watch the movie and then come back. Real quick, just in a non-spoiler way, I was watching the movie and certain things were happening, and I was like, "This is kind of dumb. I don't get why some things look the way they are. I don't get why some things are happening." And then Courtney looked it up because I was like, I can't remember if this is based off of a book or if it's based off of the book and someone was weird enough to make this book or what it was. So Courtney looked it up and she goes, "Oh, such and such a thing means such and such a thing." And then everything clicked and I was like, "Oh, what?" And then everything made sense. And then I kind of looked up what some of the other things were, including the ending.
Okay.
And I'm really excited to tell you about it.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
But so I went from kind of like not liking this movie to actually really, really liking it once I understood it.
Okay.
And it's not even in a pretentious way where it's like, oh, I understand art. But it's like there's actually a symbolism in it that changes everything. So
did Courtney see it with you?
Yeah, kind of. She was in and out and stuff, but yeah.
I was just curious what she thought, but
yeah.
Okay.
So
I don't have anything else, and I really want you to tell me what you're going to tell me.
I know. He's on the edge of his seat, you guys. So get out of here. Go watch the movie. It's an hour and a half on Netflix.
We don't have it today, but one of our supporters actually kickstarted this movie, and so he has the book. Like they sent him and like a few other people the book. So at some point I'm gonna get that, and I'll maybe do like a little like recording to kind of show you. But
yeah,
I couldn't get in time. I messaged him too late, and he couldn't bring it down, and so I was like, dang it. But that's all right. We'll get another time and show you. But I was like, dude, you have like the legit like pop-up book. Like, do I want to have this? Am I gonna be haunted for the rest of my life?
Is this a good idea?
Am I letting him in?
Right. But yeah. Okay. So if you're not staying, get on out here, subscribe on YouTube, like the YouTube video, and follow us on social media.
Yeah.
There's big things coming on social media, you guys. I know we say that, but this time I mean it. It's just happening. Look out, because things are in the works. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and with
go
that,
watch this. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, go watch it. With that, let's jump into spoilers.
Okay.
All right, Craig. Let me just real quick.
You're not going to make me wait till the story, are you?
No, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'm nice. Let me really quickly just break down the movie really quickly. Okay?
Yeah, you're good.
So fast. Basically, it follows a mother and her son who is turning 7.
Yes.
We pretty early on find out that the husband, her husband, died in a car accident driving her to the hospital to give birth to this son. Okay?
Yes.
Then basically the kid's a little naughty. He's making weapons because he thinks there's a monster in his house, all this stuff. He ends up finding a book, which is a very, very creepy. She thinks it's a children's book. She's reading it to him. It turns very scary very quickly and says you're going to want to be dead. Yeah, it's terrifying.
Another movie trope that they didn't follow. She doesn't just sit there and read the whole thing and be like, "Oh my gosh, you're scared of that." She closes it.
And closes it.
Oh crap!
And then reads a different book. Yeah. And then basically this scary character from the book, the Babadook, ends up haunting her, possessing her, making her want to kill her kid. Yeah. And then they're finally able to get rid of it.
Yes.
Okay. That's basically the movie.
Yeah.
So, the Babadook, to me, it was kind of looking weird. I didn't understand what was going on. So the kid goes in the basement, and this is when everything truly starts, is when you kind of first see the kid go into the basement, where she has kept all of her dead husband's things.
Right.
Okay? The Babadook is grief. Okay? So that is what the symbolism is.
Okay.
So what happens is if you shove all of your grief down into a basement and you don't deal with it, it can come out when you don't want it to, and it can possess you, and it can lead you to do things that you don't want to do.
Right.
That is what helped me start to like this movie, because I was like, this is it's kind of dumb. I'm like, why is this scary book creature? But it's this entire movie's in her head.
Right.
Basically, it's not real, right? And maybe some of the things that happen are real, but she does not actually get possessed by the Babadook. She is getting possessed by grief and depression and all of these different things.
Oh,
so it's very, very, very like symbolism heavy. And there's maybe some resentment for her son because he survived and he's kind of this naughty kid when she wants her husband back.
And she tells him that.
And she ends up telling him because she's possessed by this grief this personage or whatever that's making her do all this stuff. So she ends up dealing with it instead of shoving it down. And then in the end, are you talking about when she feeds it worms?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically they collect all these worms from the garden and give it to the Babadook. And it's like, what? This is dumb. What? So instead of hiding it away, sometimes you can't just get rid of it, right? You can't just kill your grief and make you not sad about your husband dying, right? So instead, you manage it. right? You keep it in its place, and you don't need to let it like show outwardly all the time, but you can recognize that it's there and you can manage it. So I think that's what like the feeding of it is. I don't know if the worms themselves are symbolic of anything, but I think it's just like a fact that she's like accepting that it exists, and maybe she doesn't like it, but she understands that it needs to be there, and you can't that's the thing, is you can't get rid of the Babadook.
No, you can't.
Like, you can't get rid of grief. If somebody close to you dies, you will always in some way be sad about that, right? For your entire life. And so that's kind of what this is. And so she's able to manage it, keep it in the basement, feed it, and almost, I'm not saying they become friends, right? Because you're never going to be like, so glad you're grieving, but it's there and it exists. So,
but she starts to understand she needs it.
Exactly.
Because everybody needs to go through grief.
Yeah, 100%. And the better you're able to recognize it and manage it right away, instead of, and again, you look at, now you go back and look at the whole movie and you're like, she's denying that it exists at all, right? Which people do all the time. People always deny their grief, and they're just like, oh, you know, and one of the things, and I'm not calling out, you know, anybody or crapping on anybody's like religious beliefs, but a lot of people will say, oh, it's okay, they're in a better place, I'll see them again, which is fine, but you also have to deal with the grief, which a lot of people choose to ignore.
Right.
And so you look and she's like, oh, the Babadook doesn't exist, you're just being, you know, a bad kid. It's not real, all of this different stuff. And so she's blaming things on outside forces instead of just dealing with the grief. So once I found that out, everything everything made sense. And I was like, this is a super, super awesome movie, because what horror movie has that level of symbolism?
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's super cool.
So yeah, it's really cool. Really awesome.
Dang.
Yeah.
Good director.
And like, you liked it without all of that.
I liked it without all of that, because the only like big thing that I didn't like about the ending, it wasn't even necessarily that she kept it and was feeding it. Why did it sound like a dinosaur? That was the only thing.
It's a monster.
I know, but that was the only thing that bugged me. It was it was like this person that they were. It always symbolized a person, right?
Yeah.
Weird claws. And then at the end, I mean, it kind of gets like these weird wings or something, you know? And then it just all of a sudden turns into like a dinosaur. And I was like...
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's a little weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that there was like a meaning to it. I just thought it was a fun premise to have, and it was more of just about the mom and the son working through their relationship, but their relationship's where it's at because of all the grief that she has.
Right. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
That's cool.
So, yeah, it's very cool.
We never gave our scores.
Well, we haven't even...
No, for just
what?
out of 10.
Oh. Well, shoot, let's do it now.
I just realized we never did that.
Let's do it now, and people will have to deal with it. Okay. What would you give it out of 10?
I give it a 9.2. I would probably almost raise that maybe to a 9.4 after what you told me.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it an 8.9.
Okay.
I really did like this movie. There are some stuff that I didn't love, kind of visually. Actually, I'm gonna give it a 9.1.
Okay.
This deserves a little bit higher.
Yeah, it's really
because honestly, truly, the acting was really good, and the story is obviously very good.
And it's more of just like almost like Get Out, where it's not about the jump scares. It's about how it makes you feel. And that to me is more terrifying than any scary movie. Yeah. You know? And so that, and I will also say, now having kids, just a little bit more understanding of where she's at, you know, I obviously have no idea where she's at because I haven't lost my wife or and she
Right.
hasn't lost me and all that other kind of stuff. But just kind of the more of like anger that she's expressing or the what might seem like to people over the top when it's really not. Especially if you're dealing with that grief on top of dealing with a kid that I would say is a little bit harder to deal with on top of single mom job on top of no sleep, you know?
Yeah.
So, because I know some people when they've talked about it, they were like, oh, it's just a little much. Like, that wouldn't happen. And I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about
it actually
that.
does. I mean, you know, like,
Yeah.
not that I've, you know, killing my dog or choking a kid or something, but you know, it's just
Yeah.
the more intense moments that they have and just kind of like her mindset of just like how done she is with it and trying to contain herself without just freaking out. I understand so much more,
Yeah.
you know? So,
Yeah. And there are even times before she gets possessed where she snaps at people.
oh yeah, yeah.
And it's just interesting, like that just continues after she
Yeah.
gets possessed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of this interesting thing where she's not even possessed and she's already just like randomly will just kind of flip and snap at people.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you don't deal with your
it's a real
grief.
thing. It's a human thing. This is such a human grounded movie where they really I really liked how they didn't shun away from kind of more of the brutalness of it, you know?
Yeah.
Very not hiding away like her getting upset or him freaking out or even the little accidents that happen when the kid pushes the girl off the treehouse and just her snapping and stuff. I like how they showed that. It wasn't toned down at all. It was very human, you know?
Yeah.
Which really helped project and convey the movie on.
Yeah. Well, and even when she crashes the car,
Oh yeah.
like that happens in real life where people have panic attacks or just all sorts of things can happen behind the wheel as far as like just mental illness or health goes and people can get in car accidents. Like all of this stuff you look back at this movie and if you watch this movie without knowing this and you look back at the movie you can connect so many things to just real life and it's just so cool because it's also not the symbolism isn't in your face.
No.
Obviously, right? Because you would have known
I didn't even
immediately.
know. Yeah.
And so it's cool because I think you can enjoy this movie knowing or not knowing. So it's cool that they don't shove it in your face, but it is when you find out, it is obvious.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's just really, really well done. Really, and in a very interesting way to kind of tell a story and also just like to talk about grief.
Yeah.
Like, how often do you like try to tackle complex human emotions in a horror movie and resolve the horror movie with a happy ending? It's kind of like, it's just weird, you know?
It's like freaking Inside Out, but a horror movie.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually exactly what it is. So it's cool. This is Inside Out 3.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
We got from the perspective of the
puberty and anxiety, and then the next thing is grief and death. And that is what we have to deal with. Okay.
I didn't even need to make an Inside Out 3. We already got it. It's the Babadook.
No, it's the Babadook. So, okay, so should we jump into scores for stuff?
Yeah. So visuals for me, I thought the beginning looked super cool. Because you don't even really know where she's at.
Yeah, she's just in black space, kind of.
Yeah. But then you see like the glass kind of coming through. But her emotions and everything, like everything felt like very real, very normal, very cool. So I really liked that. And I liked that it was just a black screen. You didn't know, you could tell she was in some kind of an accident in a car is what it felt like.
Yeah.
But you didn't really see that. So I liked how, and it kept it from the same shot, even when she's technically going upside down because her hair and arms and stuff move. So it's just kind of cool. Cool way to open it.
Yeah. Yeah. So visually, what was complicated. So this is basically, I went through a little bit of a roller coaster of emotions because I found out what it meant probably an hour into the movie. So like scary things were already happening. And when you actually see the Babadook for the first time, everything is scary leading up to that. And then once you see him, it's not scary.
Like on the ceiling.
Yeah, it's like this weird paper thing. And I'm like, oh. It's like, I was like, I'm kind of let down by that.
Yeah.
Not very scary. But then when I realize what it means, it like that doesn't matter quite as much to me. So it's kind of hard because part of me is like, how scary were you trying to make this?
Right.
Versus, are you really just trying to lean into the symbolism? Because if it's just the symbolism, it's supposed to look fake because it's in your head. It's an imagination. It's not a real thing. So I'm very, very torn on the scariness of that.
Yeah.
Now the rest of it is plenty scary, and the visuals I think are really good.
Very good.
There's not a lot of CGI.
No, I would say
Really?
the cockroaches are maybe the only like big CGI.
Were they CGI?
When they were on her in the car, it felt like they were CGI.
Okay.
In the
Because I
wall,
thought the
they
ones
looked
in
real.
the house.
But
Okay.
when she's like brushing them away, they kind of just look like they were just moving on a flat surface rather than like going up and down her legs,
Right.
like the curvature of the legs.
Yeah.
So other than that, like even the very ending wings, I think those are just props that they extended. So yeah. And then I mean like when she falls into like the bed those couple times.
Yeah,
Those are kind of cool shots. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool shot. Yeah.
The book looks so cool.
The book is very cool looking and so scary.
So scary. Props to them. Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and the other CGI is when
he gets his head
head.
sliced in half.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't get his head sliced off. He gets his head sliced in half, like horizontally.
Yeah.
Like kind of at a diagonal.
diagonally. Beautiful shot.
Which part of me is like, is that what happened to him during the car accident?
I don't know. How would that happen?
Or is it just
to you?
supposed to be scary?
I think it's just
You'd
supposed
have
be
to
scary.
run into something very specifically. Truly, like I'm thinking about Baby Driver when he impales Jamie Foxx.
He need to have gotten launched out of the car into like a semi or truck that's holding like
Or a road sign.
Ooh, or a road sign
from the side. I don't know.
Yeah,
The speculation here is unimportant, but
but it was still great.
it's still great. But she, I mean, I don't know. Like when she's truly possessed and screaming and all of that, I know a lot of this is like acting and story and stuff, but just visually, just seeing all of the imagery is really cool. Like
Very cool.
It's horrifying, but it's very good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of my
would say-
visual notes.
I would say the Babadook he's kind of weirdly creepy at some points. And then other parts, like when she's looking up and she's looking at the lady across the street and she's cleaning the dishes and she looks up and she's just watching a show and then she looks down, she looks up and there's like the Babadook. He looks a little more creepy in that spot because he's just kind of like far away and it's just a really weird looking face.
Yeah.
But like the first time when he's like crawling on the ceiling and stuff, it looks a little off and then like he just kind of looks a little dumb.
Uh-huh. It's kind of like a cartoon placed into a live action.
Yeah.
You know. So it's
But then we got the commercials at the end of the night where it's like all the weird imagery going through everything. Like that was very cool looking.
Yeah. Overall, I think it was good.
Yeah, it was good.
What would you give it?
I give it pretty high. I'll give it a 193. There's definitely some things that don't look great.
Yeah.
but there were very rare times I was kind of taken out of the movie.
Yeah.
So,
I'm going to give it a 189.
okay.
Same reasons.
Yeah.
Same thing. All right. So, story.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah. Just really, 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 really good. The first thing I want to mention that I touched on last week is she got scared, so she turned on every single light in the house.
Yeah.
I like that.
Instantly.
Love it.
Every time she got scared, she'd run to the
That
light
is
switch.
what they should do.
All the time.
All the time.
I love when they're smart.
I love it.
It makes it so much better, and it doesn't make it any less scary.
No, it does.
It just
if
puts
anything,
you more
it makes
into
it
the movie.
more. It makes it more scary
Yeah.
because when they do that, you're like, wait, is something scary gonna happen with the lights on? That's crazy, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna beat a dead horse because I feel like we really talked about the story. Well, I talked about the story a lot. Kind of broke a lot of that down for you. So I don't have a ton else to say. I think I spilled my guts on most of it. I think it was just really well written. So go for it. I have one note, but go ahead and tell yours.
The guy that likes her at the old folks' home, when he comes over, when he thinks that the kid is sick, and he's like bringing her flowers and brings him like a little game. And then the kid's like, oh, I'm not sick. And then the mom and son like start to have like this scream out fight. And he's just like sitting there in the middle. I was like,
It's so awkward.
Poor guy. He's just
And
in
we've
the middle
all
of
been
this
there
fight.
in some way. It's so uncomfortable.
And he's just like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to go now.
Yeah.
And then the other note that I have, which is just a funny line. The kid just, I loved how open he was about everything.
Oh, he'd just say anything that was on his mind.
He would say anything on his mind. So at the very end, they throw him a party on his actual birthday because they've been combining it with his sister's daughter's birthday because she doesn't want to celebrate it on the day because that's when the husband died.
Yeah.
Another grief thing. And so they have the like child protective services or something
Yeah.
coming out, and they're talking, and you know they're obviously in a much better place because everything has gone through it.
She's thrown up the villain.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that looked good.
So things are better
about that.
That did look good. Yeah, I'm sorry.
looked good.
I should have written that down. She throws up the Babadook like this black sludge, and it's just one shot from like right on her face, and it looked incredible. So
it looks so
you know
good.
What? 190.
Yeah, do it.
Forgot about it. Okay. And what's the line?
Yeah, so they're like asking like, oh, parties are going to be fun. And he's like, yeah, my cousin's not coming because I broke her nose in 2 places.
He just says a bunch of stuff like that. Like early in the movie when they're at the store, he's like playing with this little girl or whatever. And the mom's like, okay, we need to get home to our dad. And he goes, my dad is in the cemetery. She's like,
He's like, he died on the way bringing my mom to have me.
yeah. It's like, oh, wow, you know. But kids, here's the thing. Kids do that.
Yeah.
You know, kids
Yeah,
will
they just speak
kids
their
will
truth.
say they'll say anything that's on their mind. And they sometimes have to learn not to. You know, you always hear the kids. You hear the story about the kids who just like straight up ask somebody why they're fat.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? It's just like, you can't stop them. You know what I mean? They're innocent. They're not there to hurt you, but they're just curious.
Uh-huh.
And so it is just funny. But I mean, I think it's good writing. And maybe she didn't do that intentionally. Maybe she wasn't like, kids do this anyway. Let's like, maybe, I don't know what she knows about kids, right? But it just, I think the characters were so fully developed kind of immediately.
Yeah.
And it was just very, very helpful to the story and how everything was able to be portrayed. One other thing I liked about the story, so I think at this point she's possessed. And it's interesting because when she gets possessed by the Babadook, it kind of ebbs and flows a little bit, which is another grief thing. Where it's like it will be a little bit more intense or a little bit more mild. But she's sitting there watching the TV and this news story comes on.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's very cool because the news story is like the woman stabbed her 7-year-old son and locked him in the basement. And then she stabbed the police and all this. And they're showing this news story. And then the camera like zooms in and it's her and she's in the house and she's like smiling behind the curtain. It's very creepy and like it's kind of basically it's foreshadowing. It's telling what will happen.
Yeah.
Maybe if she gives in to the Babadook fully or whatever.
They don't say the 7-year-old son. They say at the very end he had just celebrated his 7th birthday.
His 7th birthday. Yeah.
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 So you're like, that means it's coming up like right now.
It's coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
Very cool. Very
really cool scene. So she's like hallucinating all this stuff, obviously, but yeah, really interesting.
Yeah.
So
nothing about the story, even the sister and their whole dynamic again is just so real.
Yeah.
She doesn't necessarily want her to combine the parties, and she doesn't necessarily even want her over because she's weird. She doesn't fit with her friends. Her friends are all these kind of like, I'm fancy, and I can't go to the gym because I don't have enough time, and that kind of stuff. And just the way they portray that and the way they do it with the story, it's just so good,
Yeah.
I mean, her sister flat out tells her that she doesn't want to come over because her son is creepy. And
he is creepy.
And he is creepy, It's just they do it so well that it feels so real rather than they're not trying to hide anything.
Yeah.
So.
This story is a very easy 200 for me.
Yeah, me too. 100%.
Honestly, I would give it more if that was a thing, but we don't do that here. So, but yeah, just it's super, super well done. So, and speaking of well done, should we talk about the acting?
Oh my gosh. Oh.
What's her name?
Yeah,
Essie?
well, who is she?
Because, oh my word, you guys, if you want to see like literally top tier acting and horror movie acting, Essie Davis.
Yeah.
My word.
Is she in
She
anything?
is. Yeah, but it looks like all a bunch of, from just what I'm seeing, a bunch of small British stuff. Actually, hold on. She's in Game of Thrones. She's in The Matrix. She's in Charlotte's Web. She's in Australia. So she's been in stuff.
Okay. Sweeney Todd.
But oh my gosh, you guys. It is, I mean, this lady was born to act.
100%. 100%.
Like it is truly some of the best acting I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of one of those
without a
things where
doubt.
it's like that's an Oscar performance.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you see Oscar performances sometimes and you're like, really? This is like, you see Robert Downey Jr. get an Oscar and it's like, I love him, but that's not an Oscar performance.
No.
You know what I mean? Some stuff he's done maybe, but this is like truly just unspeakably good.
This is your Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump. This is your, I would even venture to say, your Heath Ledger Joker. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Truly.
just your top notch. Like, this is the mom and the boyfriend from Get Out. That scene with the teacup and going into the upside down, not the upside down, the sunken place. It's there. It's those top peak,
And
probably like top 5 like of all time.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I would exactly say like it is right there with Heath Ledger's Joker. Now the movie is obviously not as iconic or well known.
No.
So it's like she's not going to get that credit that she deserves, but like truly it's I don't know, it's kind of unexplainable. If you watch it though, you're like, wow, this is just insanely good.
even when she gets possessed, the way she moves is so different too. Like before, she's always just kind of like really slow and like, arms are down and she's very tired and stuff. But then when she's possessed, she's almost like gliding as she like runs.
Yeah.
Like she's got all this energy and she's running around and she's very fast and she's very, kind of crazy. It's so cool
Yeah.
that you know that she's possessed, not just because she acts like, more angry or something, but just her movement and her expressions and stuff. It's fantastic.
Yeah. It's crazy. And the kid too
Kid is great.
did very well.
Very well.
Everyone in this movie was good.
Oh yeah. Me and my wife, after we watched that, were like, I would never allow my kid to act in this, but holy crap, he did.
No, yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. The only people that I'm wondering about are the CPS workers. Because on one hand, I'm like, yeah, it was awkward. They felt weird in there. But I'm like, were they overacting it or was it spot on?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I could see it both ways. To me, it created that awkwardness. So
Yeah.
I think they did what they were
So it
trying to
works.
do.
Yeah.
But not everybody in this movie is a 200, but I'm giving it a 200 because of how good she is.
Yes.
And
That is
everybody else is really good.
That's
She's
exactly what I
just-
was going to say.
She's 201,
Yeah.
And I mean, really,
Yeah,
she's like 800, but
Yeah. This is one of those ones where she's like an 800. Everybody else is like a 190, 195. But it's like it's 200 because
yeah.
of her. And the
Oh,
kid
yeah.
too, honestly.
And the kid.
The only person truly that wasn't anything special, I think, was the husband when he would show up just like
Yeah.
towards the end.
He was
But
just
it's also
fine.
like he wasn't playing his character necessarily. You know what I
And
mean?
he
Like
showed up,
he's
like,
playing
twice.
and he's playing like a what's it called? A hallucination of himself.
Yeah, hallucination, yeah.
So it's, I don't know. So I'm not going to detract anything from that, but
No.
yeah.
Oh,
I
so
did,
good.
dude, when she's yelling at him, her son, and he's like, "You're not my mother." And she like, "I am your mother." It's like,
It's so good.
it's like the scariest thing I've ever watched, but not
yeah.
in a horror way, but
You-
just in like
you-
a scared of a person way.
Because here's the thing, and we just reviewed this movie, but Paranormal Activity is still good even with the bad actors. And I would say this movie is still good, but you do not reach the depths of what this movie is without these two actors.
Yeah.
If you replace
Agreed.
them with the Paranormal Activity actors,
Oh,
to me, this movie doesn't become good anymore.
yeah.
Even though it's still trying to portray the same thing, you just don't get just everything. I mean, just her constantly, picking at her head or like just all that stuff that just makes you so unnerved and weird and like what's going to happen and all that kind of stuff. It just, it goes away without her.
There's a discomfort through the entire movie
Yeah.
that it's there kind of under the surface of the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you kind of just feel it the whole time.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's very obvious, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not when just something normal is happening, but you still just feel so uncomfortable about everything.
yeah.
And it's just, it makes you feel stuff, man. And that's,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, a good movie will make you feel something,
Yes.
right? And there's obviously a slew of emotions, and this can make you feel a lot of things, but you just feel this scratching. It's hard to explain, but
Yeah. It's very hard to explain.
but But yeah, just really, really, really well acted and portrayed. So
What was my score for visuals?
you give it a 193.
Okay, I want to give it 194 because I also forgot about her pulling the tooth out, and that was
Oh yeah,
grossly
dude.
amazing.
That's terrifying. I forgot about that. Oh,
She just
so
chucks
good.
it, and it's just like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Okay. Should we talk about the score
Yeah,
and
let's talk about
sound?
score. Yeah, I love the background song that just kind of plays all throughout. I thought it's very creepy.
Yeah.
Very well done. I thought all the sound effects sounded great, other than I don't know why it's a dinosaur.
Yeah.
I will never understand that.
Yeah.
That's the
fair.
only thing for me that kind of takes me out because it's just very weird.
Yeah. So I think the sound design was really good. It was cool how just every once in a while they would just really dial up the volume of certain sounds. So like when the kid
Yes.
goes to the doctor and they're like using the little light to look into his ear and his eyes, they like blast the volume on
so
just the
loud.
little electric hum of the light.
Yeah.
It's like super loud. And it's all this stuff, and it's it's showing kind of these heightened senses, or maybe it's portraying how when you're feeling a certain emotion, everything can just feel annoying and loud
Right.
and all this stuff. So that was cool. They just kind of like throw that in there randomly. And then yeah, the songs were good. I think the coolest thing was how a lot of the music was from her point of view. And what I mean is a song would be playing or whatever, and then she would do something or something would happen to her and the music would stop.
Oh, yeah.
So she's like taking the trash out and the song is playing or whatever, or she's throwing the book away and she like puts the book in and the lid closes and immediately the song
It
stops.
stops. Yeah.
Or she's watching those people make out in their car and I think she's looking at them longingly, right?
Yes.
And this song is playing. I think it's a little bit more of like a romantic song. And once she like makes eye contact with the girl, because she's like looking at a girl across a parking garage.
Yeah.
Once they make eye contact, it's like the music just cuts.
Yeah, that was cool.
And it's like, it's kind of showing like this. I don't know if it's, does she have this internal soundtrack to her life where she's trying to romanticize her life? She's trying to feel better about things. I don't know. I don't know exactly what the intention was behind it, but it's just really, it was super unique. I don't think people do that much.
No.
But yeah, I thought that was cool.
That was really cool. So what
Yeah.
would you give it?
The score, I think the songs in the score itself were pretty good, but the score like went away. Well, did the score go away when she got possessed? Because there was like no music in the second half of this movie.
I think so.
So maybe that's on purpose.
Yeah, it might have been because
Sorry, there's so much depth to this movie where I'm like,
well, because I would almost say when she hears the music, it's when she is physically there.
Yeah.
Right? But then
Yeah.
when she's possessed, she's not hearing the music.
that's kind of awesome.
If that's what they meant to do. And it feels like they did because this all feels like they meant to do pretty much everything.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a 196
Okay.
because I like the uniqueness of all of that. And I did like what the songs and sound effects were.
Oh man. I'll do 192 just because of the dinosaur sound effects.
Okay, fair. I'm gonna have to rewatch this, like knowing everything I know now from the start, and just
Yeah, I want to also.
like pick it apart and just try to find out everything I can. Vibe.
Yeah, vibe.
What you got, bro?
Ooh. I've always liked this movie. I think this is the fourth time I've seen this.
Okay.
I think me and my wife, this is now the third time we've seen it together. I saw it once with some coworkers. And every time I'm just, it still gets me.
Yeah.
Even after the fourth watch, I'm still nervous. I'm still uncomfortable. And to be able to do that is a pretty big feat for me. I mean, that you've done something really good. It's like Get Out. I always feel uncomfortable watching that movie, even though I've seen it like probably 6 times at this point, you know?
Yeah.
Is there a couple little things? Yeah. Do I give it the 199?
The coveted 199 and the 200 are the
200.
198 is so significantly lower than 199 and 200. 199 is about 100 points lower than 200, and 198 is about 600 points lower than that. Very complicated.
Basically, 200 is 10 out of 10. 199 is like 9 out of 10. 198 is like 4 out of 10. And then...
yeah, and then anything under that's negative. You know?
It's so funny because it's just like... I'll do 199.
Okay. Fair. He's still thinking. I'm going to give it...
Yeah, I'll do 199.
Dang. I'm also going to give it 199.
Okay.
That's good. Shall we total them up?
Yeah.
I can guess first this time. I always make you guess first. This is a high-scoring one.
It's very high scoring.
So I'm going to go 9. I'm going to say I gave it a 981.
Ooh, I was going to guess 980.
Okay, well, let's see. Craig, 985.
Oh, dang it.
And Sam, 985.
We gave it the same?
We gave it the same score.
Dang.
The last time that happened, you guys, was I don't even know. I can't. I'm looking. Has that happened? It has happened. I remember it happening, but now
I swear it happened.
Oh, it happened. Oh, here it is. Ahsoka. We both gave a 915.
Oh. Wow, we gave
that was
Ahsoka
only like 50 episodes ago. So what?
We gave Ahsoka 915.
Yeah, you know, I have been listening.
High?
I've been re-listening to parts of older episodes. We have really ebbed and flowed in how hard and how not hard we are on certain movies.
Yeah, like Avatar 2, we destroyed.
Dude, we destroyed Avatar. Like, so bad. And now I'm sure if we watched it, we'd be like, oh, yeah, it's like a 975. We gave it I gave it 659, you guys. Like, it's so bad.
I would still say the story and the score were very disappointing.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay, so what do you know about the box office of this movie?
I know what it is.
Boo. Can I guess?
Yeah, please do.
And if I get it right, I win?
Sure.
$28 million.
10.3.
Dang. Hey, you know what? I was close because I was about to say something in the hundreds, and then I realized that was a dumb idea.
Like your Joker 5.
Dude, you guys, I'm an idiot. I want to go officially on the record and tell everybody that I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm thinking. I guess 518 for the Joker. If that thing breaks 200, it'll be a miracle for them.
We didn't do box office last week.
Oh, no, because we knew it.
No. I just mean like updates.
Oh, well, we can do updates now.
Yeah. Here. Okay. Did you have anything else that you wanted to bring up?
No.
Okay.
I did not.
Yeah. Great movie.
Here's the thing. Oh, you know what? We'll record. I'm gonna put this in the Paranormal Activity one. So I'll cut this out and throw it in there because these numbers will change.
Yeah.
By the weekend.
Yeah.
So not that anybody's gonna be too upset about it, but
no.
Okay, so currently, The Wild Robot is at 152 million.
Okay.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not terrible. I am very, Very interested to see what it does this weekend.
Concerning the fact that Joker Fully a Deuce is at 165.
Please tell me you made that up.
I didn't. Somebody put a comment in it on one of the videos.
Fully a Deuce is... That's the one right there. It's
That's
not
the
even
one, I know.
French. I love that.
It's amazing.
Oh, that's great. And then,
Fully
yeah,
a Deuce.
Joker 2 is at 193. Nope. Sorry, that's Paranormal Activity.
165.
165.
Yeah.
So...
Which it's basically dead because it's releasing in digital on the 29th.
yeah, that's incredible. Good for them.
I'm really hoping the Wild Robot might take it over eventually.
I know, that would be nice.
Because it beat it at the box office on the second weekend.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very cool. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Part of me thinks that we need to do iRobot for the Tesla event.
Yeah, that's what Lindsay said. She's like, you have to do iRobot now.
Yeah. So maybe we'll do iRobot. We'll see.
We'll sprinkle it in there.
I know it's not a horror movie, but
It's a great movie,
maybe
though.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie all the way through.
Oh my gosh, really?
I've definitely seen bits and pieces, but like that
man.
came out when I was kind of young, I think.
It's
And
been
I
a
don't
minute
think
since I've seen it
I
all.
don't think I ever fully got around to watching it.
Yeah, we definitely got to watch that one.
Yeah. 2004
Yeah. That's like, did you ever see
So-
Eagle Eye?
with Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
No.
My wife, we have watched that movie 3
Actually?
times.
Maybe I have. I don't know. Anyway.
Me and my wife have watched that movie 3 times, and she still hasn't stayed awake to finish the whole movie.
No way, really?
And it's not because it's bad. Like, it's a great movie. I think she's just always tired whenever we watch it.
That's
and
so funny. That is so funny.
I actually really like Eagle Eye. It's dumb, but it's fun.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I think we should watch iRobot.
Yeah, we totally should.
2004, man. I was 8. I was just a little baby. I was probably not allowed to watch that movie. Well,
Cool.
that's it then.
Yeah.
So we'll come back at you with something else on Friday.
Yeah, we'll have something else for next Friday. Maybe we'll do it or something else. We'll just kind of see what we want to do.
Yeah.
But alrighty, well, thank you for this fantastic episode of Robots, Elon, Axles, Carpets, Totinos.
Totinos.
Insects. Olives. Naked. Telephones. Insignia. Molecular. Eggplants.
I thought you were going to go all nouns there for a second until you said naked. In the words of that guy on Family Feud, naked grandma. Oh, yo, so funny.
Man.
All right. Well,
Alrighty.
folks,
Have a
We will see you.
fantastic day.
yeah, we'll not even see you next week. We'll see you on Friday.
Bye.
Bye.